All right, next thing is to explain about our ripple tank. If you can choose to use this or not, you could always just use videos of ripple tanks if you want to explain it instead of showing the kids visually. But in any case, this is your power supply most likely that you'll use for a ripple tank. Assuming that nobody has tampered with the switch on the bottom, then this is set for 220 volts. So we can just plug it in and turn it on, right? So you can see there that it's going to tell you how much current and volts it has. Voltage is here. You want to keep it pretty low, generally speaking, in volts. And then we're going to just turn off the current limiter. So you can crank up the volts, and you can see how many volts you're getting on the display there. Obviously, this is not hooked up to anything right now, so it's not getting any volts. But you would basically get a pair of alligator clips and hook up to these, and then hook those up to the corresponding spots here. It looks like this wants 6 volts of DC. So you want to try to set this to 6 volts and then hook it up there. Turn this on, bam. And then you can control the frequency of the oscillation over here with your little knob, okay? So what does the ripple tank do? Well, basically you get a little bit of water, not much, into this part of the ripple tank. This thing is going to oscillate up and down when there is power supplied to it, and it will produce waves. And then you can use the various materials inside this container in order to provide to produce different effects. These can act as walls, so you could make a diffraction gap between two of these so that you can see diffraction happen. You can also use these for reflection. So basically you can set this up in here like so, and in the water, and then the waves will approach and bounce off. You know, there's this little guy that you could use as well to create like a shadow. See what happens to the wave shadow in the back of it. This is just a long barrier. And then this is another one like this guy where you can produce a gap to show diffraction, right? So like that. And then you would just put a little bit of water, not much, just like a couple centimeters deep of water so that this bounces in the water and produces waves. There is also an attachment to produce, instead of producing wave fronts, you can produce circular waves if you attach this instead of this guy. So that's an option. And these things twist. Here, let me put this down. So these things twist. So you could like twist one up if you only want to have one dipper in the water. Something like that. Or you can have both of them. Okay, so anyway, those are the attachments. How do you show the kids what's going on in there? You use an overhead projector. An old style. Not this guy, right? We can't use that. What we have to use is this. All right. And if I recall correctly, this is 220 volt overhead projector. Let's see. Yes, it is 220 volt. You can see it right back down there. So you would just pull this thing out from the corner here and project it onto the screen, probably from about this area here. Put that on top of it, turn on the light, and you will see the ripple pattern effect up on the wall there. So that is how to use the ripple tank.